Hi, this is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com. Welcome to the South Carolina College Baseball video recap for Friday, May the 16th, 2025. There were 11 games involving state teams played on Friday. Let's take a look at what's going on. Up in Norfolk, Virginia, Coastal Carolina came from an early 2-0 deficit to score 16 runs and beat Old Dominion 16-7 to clinch their Sun Belt Conference Series, as well as the top seed for the conference tournament and the regular season championship. The Chanticleers are now 43-11 overall, 25-4 in the conference. They won 13 straight games overall and 17 in the Sun Belt. Not too bad. Ty Barango and Colby Thorndyke had 3 hits and 4 RBI apiece for Coastal. Jacob Morrison improved to 10-0 with allowing 2 runs and striking out 7 in 5 innings. Old Dominion fell to 21-28 and 15-14. And like I say, the Chants clinched the regular season championship in Coach Kevin Schnall's first season. Chad Bourne was 2 for 4 with a double, hit by pitch, 4 runs scored, and an RBI. Elsewhere, USC Upstate beat UNC Asheville, scored 4 runs in the top of the 9th inning, and that turned out to be a very big win for the Spartans. They moved into a tie for first place in the Big South Conference with 1 game remaining because Winthrop beat High Point by a score of 15-12. Get into more on that one later. But now Upstate and High Point are both 18-5 in the Big South. If they should finish in a tie, Upstate has the tiebreaker. The Spartans are 32-23 overall. In the 9th inning, Balk drove in the 4th run of the game for the Spartans. Then Scott Newman singled, and Preston Lucas and Gage Griggs produced hits for the other runs as they won. Another thing about that, with Upstate winning, that eliminated UNC Asheville from contention for one of the 6 spots in the Big South Conference tournament. So Presbyterian has qualified. Buhos had a bye weekend because it's in a 9-team league. Didn't have a conference foe this weekend. UNC Asheville fell to 15-33 and 8-15. By being at 9-15, PC is again in the conference tournament. Upstate is 32-23 overall, and like I said, 18-5. Also for the Spartans today, I mentioned Preston Lucas. He had 2 doubles, a walk, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. How about that game over in Rock Hill for Winthrop winning that game? The Eagles got 9 runs in the 5th inning as they stopped a 6-game losing streak, and beat High Point. The Eagles are now 28-27 overall, 12-11 in the Big South. High Point fell to 38-16 and 18-5. High Point did threaten. They got some runs in the 9th inning. They had the bases loaded with 1 out, and Quentin Hall came in to get the final 2 outs of the game to pick up the save and preserve that win for Winthrop. Ethan Wilson was 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBI for Winthrop. Colin Crowley was 2 for 4 with a stolen base, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. How about elsewhere? Clemson jumped on Pitt early and clinched an ACC series win there with 11-2 win up in Pittsburgh. Cam Canarella had 4 hits. He extended his hitting streak to, I believe it was 14 games. Jared Purify homered for the 2nd straight game for Clemson. The Tigers scored in each of the first 3 innings. Jack Crichton had 3 hits, and Dominic Leasty, Josh Payno, and T.P. Wentworth added 2 apiece. Drew Tidsworth worked the first 6 innings to get the win, and Jacob McGovern pitched 3 perfect innings to get the save for the Tigers. Canarella was 2 for 4 with a double, a walk, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Clemson improved to 40-15, another 40-win season for the Tigers, and 17-12 in the conference. Pitt fell to 27-25 and 10-19. Elsewhere, down in Charleston, Daniel Brooks allowed a run on 4 hits over 6 innings, and College of Charleston beat Hofstra 6-2 to extend its winning streak to 9 games. The Cougars are now 34-19 overall, 15-11 in the CAA. Hofstra fell to 17-36 and 7-19. Dylan Johnson and Landon Penfield had 2 doubles apiece for the college. Alex Lacoste was 2 for 4 with an RBI. He's been having a great couple of weeks now as a freshman. Also on Friday, Jerry Jones hit a pair of home runs, and LSU evened its series with South Carolina by an 8-1 score. The Bayou Bengals are now 40-14 overall, 18-11 in the SEC. Carolina fell to 28-27 and 6-23. Cade Anderson, one of the top left-handed pitching prospects for this year's draft, according to many people, struck out 9 USC batters in 6 2/3 innings. KJ Scobie doubled for Carolina, and he scored the only USC run on Gavin Braven's single. For the Gamecocks, Caleb Jones went an inning and 2/3 of shutout relief. He had a hit, didn't allow a run, and he struck out 1. With that loss, Carolina fell to 28-27 and 6-23 in the SEC. I believe I did mention the LSU's 40-14 and 18-11. Down in Charleston, the Citadel had another big win. They beat East Tennessee State by a score of 7-3. The Bulldogs scored 6 runs in the 7th inning and avoided a play-in game for the conference tournament. They will be one of the top 6 teams, so they will not have to, top 4 teams, excuse me. So they will not have to be in the single elimination play-in round on Wednesday next week at the SoCon tournament in Greenville. T.J. Anderson reached base 5 times and joined Anthony Hausner and Thomas Rollauer in getting 2 hits apiece. Andrew Stanley took a shutout into the 7th inning for the Bulldogs, who are now 30-23 and 12-8 in the SoCon. East Tennessee State fell to 37-15 and 13-7. Bulldogs have a chance to at least tie for the SoCon championship tomorrow if they can beat the Buccaneers again. In Spartanburg, VMI got 24 hits and took the finale of the Southern Conference Series at Wofford by a score of 15-6. All 9 VMI batters got at least 2 hits apiece, and the Keydets improved to 27-25 overall, 6-15 in the SoCon. Wofford fell to 31-25 and 8-13. VMI will be the 8th seed. Wofford will be the 7th seed for the SoCon tournament beginning Wednesday in Greenville. Both will be in a play-in game for a chance to get into the 6-team double elimination portion of the bracket. For the Terriers, Tanner Harden was 2 for 3 with a double, a walk, a run scored, and 2 RBI. I'm just kind of winging it as I go here, so I'm jumping back and forth. I hope I don't miss a one here. Charleston Southern hammered Gardner Webb 19-4 they hit 23 hits, including a school single game record 7 home runs. They evened that Big South Conference Series at 1 apiece. Buccaneers are 27-20, 13-10 in the Big South. Gardner Webb fell to 17-35 and 6-17. Aiden McCaskey singled, doubled, and homered twice for Charleston Southern. Caden Smith singled, homered, and drove in 5 runs for CSU. Gardner Webb, as I say, fell to 17-35, 6-17. The Buccaneers 27-20, 13-10. That is all the action involving NCAA Division I teams. Let's move on to the NCAA Division II Southeast Regional. These games are in Salisbury, North Carolina. First, Lander scored 6 runs in the 7th inning and survived an elimination game to beat Young Harris 13-8 in a, like I said, elimination game of the tournament. Adam Love singled twice and homered twice for Lander. He hit a go-ahead 2-run homer in that 7th inning to give Lander a 9-8 lead. They added 4 more runs, thanks in big part to a 3-run double by Evan Wakari. Bearcats are now 43-14. Mountain Lions of Young Harris were eliminated with a 42-14 record. Also for Lander, they will play North Greenville tomorrow in an elimination game at 3 o'clock up in Salisbury. In the other game, why is North Greenville in the elimination game, you ask? Well, the Trailblazers lost to host Catawba 4-3 in 11 innings Friday night. Catawba scored 3 runs in the top of the 1st inning. They were the visiting team. And held that lead on until the middle innings when North Greenville got a RBI single from Bryce Roddy in the 4th. Matthew Albritton homered in the 6th, and Brett Blomquist singled in another run in the 6th to tie the score. It stayed that way until the 11th when Matthew Conley singled, and he went to 3rd when Ty Hubbard's bunt turned out to be a single, and the ball was thrown away at first base, getting Conley to 3rd. He eventually scored on James Dunlap's ground out for what proved to be the winning run. Catawba improved to 44-12. North Greenville fell to 44-14. How about in other games on Friday? In the Belmont bracket of the Division II playoffs, North Georgia eliminated Carson Newman by a score of 4-2. And Lenore Ryan beat number 2 seed and tournament host Belmont Abbey 13-7. So tomorrow, Belmont Abbey will play North Georgia in an elimination game. The winner plays Lenore Ryan, and Lenore Ryan could wrap up the bracket title with a win there. Same for Catawba in the other bracket if they win on Saturday night after when they play the Lander North Greenville winner. In the ACC on Friday night, Duke beat Georgia Tech 14-4 in 7 innings. Miami beat Notre Dame 15-1 in 7 innings. North Carolina beat Florida State 11-1 in 7 innings. Stanford beat NC State 4-3 in 10 innings. Virginia Tech evened its series with Virginia at 5-4 win. Wake Forest beat Louisville again 5-4. Boston College and California are still playing as I record this. How about the ACC standings? North Carolina moved into first place. The Tar Heels are now 18-10. NC State's a half game back at 17-10. Georgia Tech is also a half game back at 18-11. Florida State is a game back at 16-10. Clemson and Duke are tied at 17-12. Virginia is at 15-11. Wake Forest at 16-13. Miami is at 15-13. Louisville is at 14-15. Notre Dame at 13-16. Virginia Tech 12-17. Boston College 10-18 pending tonight's result. Pitt is 10-19. Stanford is 10-19. And California is 8-20 pending tonight's result. In the SEC, Alabama beat Florida 9-6. Arkansas beat Tennessee 8-6. Mississippi State beat Missouri in 7 innings 13-3. Ole Miss beat Auburn 15-11. Texas A&M evened its series with Georgia by a 6-0 score. Vanderbilt beat Kentucky 9-8, and Texas fell to Oklahoma 8-6, so that series is now tied. SEC standings. Texas has clinched the regular season championship. The Longhorns are 21-8. Arkansas 19-10. LSU and Vanderbilt at 18-11. Georgia is at 17-12. Alabama, Auburn, Ole Miss, and Tennessee are all at 16-13. Florida, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma are 14-15. Oklahoma is at 13-16. Texas A&M is at 11-18. South Carolina is at 6-23, and Missouri is 3-26. In the Sun Belt, as I mentioned, Coastal wrapped up the regular season championship and top seed for the tournament. In other scores, Arkansas State 13, Louisiana 3 in 7 innings. Georgia State doubled Appalachian State 20-10. Marshall beat Georgia Southern 10-4. South Alabama beat ULM 10-2. Southern Miss run-ruled Troy 12-1 in 8 innings. The Eagles are red hot, but Coastal has been just as hot, and Southern couldn't make up any ground. Texas State beat James Madison 5-4. How about the Sun Belt standings? The Chanticleers are 25-4. Southern Miss is 23-6. Troy is 18-11. Louisiana is 15-14, as are Old Dominion and Marshall. Arkansas State's 14-15. Texas State's 14-15. Georgia Southern's 13-16. Excuse me while I get a drink. Thank you. Appalachia's 12-17. Georgia State's 11-18, as is South Alabama. James Madison's 9-20, and ULM is 8-21. In the Big South Conference, there's only one other game not involving a state team, and that Longwood-Radford game was suspended until Saturday because of rain. Longwood's leading 8-5 in the bottom of the 6th. Excuse me. Live TV here. So, High Point and USC Upstate share the lead in the Big South Conference with 1 game to go, both at 18-5. Radford's at 13-9 with 2 games to play tomorrow. Charleston Southern's at 13-10. Winthrop's at 12-11. PC, which made the tournament, they're at 9-15. Asheville is 8-15. Reason that they could not catch PC is PC has the head-to-head edge. Gardner Webb 6-17, and Longwood is 6-16. Should have Longwood and Gardner Webb reversed. I'll fix that. In the Coastal Athletic Association, first place Northeastern won again. They beat North Carolina A&T 8-6. Stony Brook beat Monmouth 8-5. UNC Wilmington beat Elon 11-5. Campbell and Delaware are playing right now as we are recording this. And the Towson-William & Mary game was suspended because of rain until Saturday, with Towson holding a 13-10 lead in the bottom of the 7th. CAA league standings right now. Northeastern 24-2. They clinched the regular season championship long ago. UNC Wilmington's at 18-8. Charleston Southern's at 15-11. Campbell's at 14-11, pending that game tonight. William and Mary is at 13-12. Elon is at 13-13. Delaware is at 11-14, followed by Monmouth at 10-16. Towson at 10-15. Again, I didn't fix these. Stony Brook's 10-16. North Carolina A&T's 9-17, and Hofstra at 7-19. In the Southern Conference, Mercer edged Samford 6-5, and UNC Greensboro scored a run in the bottom of the 8th and beat Western Carolina 1-0. Well, how about those SoCon standings? East Tennessee State is in first place at 13-11, but there's 3 teams tied for second. Mercer and Samford and the Citadel are all at 12-8. So depending on what happens, if East Tennessee State wins on Saturday at the Citadel, they're the undisputed regular season champ. If they should lose, they will be tied with the Citadel and the winner of the Samford-Mercer game. So again, it's East Tennessee State at 13-7, Mercer at 12-8, Samford at 12-8, Citadel at 12-8, Western Carolina is at 9-11, UNC Greensboro is at 9-11, Wofford is at 8-13, and VMI is at 6-15. How about the schedule for Saturday? Let's take a look. There are 8 games involving state teams of regular season. Let's take a look there. Hofstra is at College of Charleston to complete that series at noon. USC Upstate is at UNC Asheville at noon. Charleston Southern is at Gardner Webb at 1 o'clock. Clemson closes out its series at Pitt at 1. Coastal Carolina is at Old Dominion at 1. East Tennessee State and the Citadel play at 1, again at Joseph P. Riley Jr. Park in Charleston. Bulldogs are playing well. LSU and South Carolina close out their series at 3 o'clock in Columbia. And High Point is at Winthrop at 6 o'clock. Then in the Division II Southeast Regional, up in Salisbury, North Greenville and Lander will play at 3 o'clock. The winner of that game plays Catawba at 6 o'clock. Catawba wins the regional. If they lose, there's another game on Sunday. In the Belmont bracket, Belmont Abbey plays North Georgia in an elimination game at 4. And then Lenore-Ryan will play that game 4 p.m. winner at 7 o'clock. And like in the other bracket, if Lenore-Ryan wins tomorrow, they're the regional champion. They'll go on to the best of the 3 super regional. If they should lose, there'll be a winner-take-all game on Sunday in Belmont. One other item, you probably saw it somewhere, is longtime Spartanburg Methodist coach Tim Wallace passed away today after a long battle with cancer. He won 1,351 games in 33 seasons. He was beginning his 34th when he discovered he had some health issues. Won 12 Region 10 titles, 7 teams in the NCJCAA World Series, 8-time Coach of the Year, sent lots of players to the pros, including Orlando Hudson, who's a 3-time Gold Glove winner for Toronto. Lots of folks talking good of Coach Wallace. He was diagnosed back in the fall, stepped away this spring, or maybe really in the winter when he was realized he just wasn't up to it, and his health never did really recover from there. I didn't know Tim real well. I considered him a friend, not maybe a close friend, but he was always nice to me. He helped out whenever I tried to get something done on the junior college level at PalmettoStateBaseball.com. For many years, he was my go-to guy for the Region 10 tournament bracket. Always had a smile when I would get a chance to meet him. Really fond guy. Be in prayer for his family and friends as they're going through this. I know it's going to be tough. Kind of a lousy way to end the regular season and a lousy way to close out this South Carolina College Baseball video recap for Friday, May the 16th. But a lot of folks knew and liked Tim Wallace, so again, just be in prayer for his family. For now, you can follow my updates on PalmettoStateBaseball.com, also on X under the handle of Palmetto Base on Twitter, X. Thanks for your loyalty in following my coverage for this year and many years in the past. Hope you have a great night. This is Rudy Jones of PalmettoStateBaseball.com saying good night and Jesus loves you.